What go on YouTube? It's your boy Nick Allen back at it again with another scary TikTok compilation. This one is called Scary TikToks That Keep Me Up at Night. So please stay tuned. Much more content coming your way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, like the video, share it to a friend. Let's jump right into this.
These are pictures humans were never meant to see, and you're about to find out why. So the pictures I'm about to show you are pictures of giants that got apparently leaked, and could be proof that giants actually existed. Up first is a picture of a giant standing next to a couple. At first glance, you're gonna think this photo is fake or completely AI. But many people who work at certain government-run museums have came out and said that you will be completely shocked by what's in there. They sign agreements saying they can't talk about anything that they see. Next is a photo of a giant just walking around in a field. Now, I could see why people would just assume this is fake right off the bat, but let's actually just think about it for a second. What if these photos are 100% real and giants existed? Many reporters have said these photos come from a country called Terrakina, and these giant-like creatures are actually our friends, and they were completely wiped out and erased from the history books. If you ever look at a picture of the old world map, you can see
her granddaughter tried to warn her something evil was with them. A little girl was with her grandmother one day when she noticed something in the living room was watching them from across the dining room.
He's right in front of you?
Yeah.
Who is it?
A guy.
Who's there, mister? What are you doing in that? Where's he at? The dining room?
Yeah.
Show me him. Go show me him. Give me your hand. Take me to him.
Yes.
Take me to him. Show me.
As the grandmother asks her to take her to the man, she points at him while keeping her distance.
Yeah.
What are you doing in our dining room, mister? What does he look like?
I bug.
He's got bug eyes?
Yeah.
The little girl describes seeing a man with bug-like eyes that the grandmother can't see.
What are you doing in our living room, mister? Get. You go back home. You go back wherever you came from. What's he doing? Come on, you're creeping me out. We're going upstairs.
Finally, the grandmother's had enough and leaves the area. Is it possible that the family was visited by the Lord of Flies himself, as described in historical drawings?
Do you know what?
Yo, there's no shot. Listen, if I had kids, okay, and my kids started pointing, saying, oh, there's a guy right there, or whatever, yo, I'm moving. Why would you stay? I'm gonna take my kid to go see like a psychic professional. Like, look, little man's is seeing ghosts. I'm not trying to wake up at 2 a.m. one day like, hey dad, I see dead people. I'm good.
Why the chainsaw was originally invented? Here's a messed up fact about history I bet you didn't know. At a time where C-sections really weren't viable if you couldn't give birth a natural way, and they just really weren't a safe practice yet, 2 men decided to invent this monstrosity. That's right, the original chainsaw was invented for childbirth. Doctors would spin that little hand crank and they would literally saw into the pelvic bones of women to help them give birth. And this was actually seen as much safer than a C-section at the time. For all my female followers, I'm just gonna let that one sink in.
What?
That is a huge no for me. And chainsaws weren't even used for wood cutting until 100 years later. Not in 1,000 years. If you liked this video, my name is Bella. Hit that plus button for more. I tell spooky, creepy, mysterious, and all.
An uninvited visitor. A sweet, suffocating odor. Victims left paralyzed. This was the terror that unfolded in Mattoon, Illinois in the summer of 1944. The midnight horror began on August 31st. Urban Rafe, roused from his sleep by a peculiar odor, found himself weakening, the world spinning. His wife attempted to investigate, suspecting natural gas poisoning, but she too found herself immobilized, paralyzed in her own bed. Just a stone's throw away, the very next day, a young mother was awakened by her daughter's coughing. She tried to rush to her child, but she too was locked in paralysis. With a dozen more attacks, all marked by the strange, sweet odor and ensuing paralysis, the town was rattled. While robbery was a plausible explanation, no evidence of forced entry or permanent harm was found. The string of attacks drew FBI attention, resulting in detailed investigation with local police. As abruptly as the attacks started, they stopped, leaving police baffled. They were unable to determine the chemical used, identify a suspect, or determine a motive. To this day, the mystery of the Mad Gasser of Mattoon remains unsolved. What's your theory?
The Mad Gasser. Listen, I don't know if it's because I have an extremely immature mind, but it just sounds like a dude who's running around farting on people. Which would be terrifying, I will admit.
Never see anyone talk about a forgotten horror movie today because I'm appalled. I never see anyone find this movie for the first time and make a review. I never see anyone recommend it. I never see it talked about. And I did not even remember the name of this movie. I remembered a specific scene, Googled it, and the name popped up, and I was like, I don't remember it being called that. But we're going to talk about it because no one else does. And we're talking about the 2017 film, The Hatred. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I don't remember that movie at all. Nothing of that looks familiar. Let me set the scene of that scene. You're in a movie theater about to watch whatever came out in 2017, or you're at home just flipping through your TV and a commercial comes on. A woman walks into a little girl's room. The little girl's on the bed and she's like, I need you to check under my bed, something is wrong. So the woman does, and the little girl's under the bed going, that's not me. That's this movie. That was this movie.
Oh.
I don't know why that is the only scene that I can remember from this movie, but I'm gonna go rewatch it and I'm gonna stitch this and tell you if it lives up to the hype that it has in my head. But I googled it to read you guys the actual description of it, and 11%. I can't vouch for the rest of the movie, I literally don't remember, but that scene alone deserves a crisp like 60.
Scary Videos Part 6. A man is watching a commercial when something seems to be watching him.
Why is this on the f***ing TV? Keep watching. Pay attention. What the f*** was that? What the f*** is that?
Before we get to the next one, can you hit that heart button? I'll do Part 7 if we get to 50,000 hearts. What pushed this baby?
Hey, yo.
Would you rather...
What? That kid just went super mode. Hold on. I hope no kids were injured in this. Don't red flag me for this. But like that, I gotta look and see if the mom in the background glitched it all. I feel like that just was way too fast. Yo, chill.
Would you rather travel to the past or the future, and why? I'm never going swimming after this.
Oh, is this the one where the... Yeah. I'm not even sure this is real.
Doctors working midnight shift
Okay,
get
maybe it is.
horrified after they
Maybe it is.
capture
I
the
don't know.
unexpected on the abandoned floor.
Oh, lights are. Go in. Go in. Go in. Figure out where the lights are. I don't like that. I don't like that. Do it. They look like evil eyes. You guys gonna come with me? Yeah, of course we're gonna go with you. Thanks. What was it? Feels great. Was that you? Yeah. That's right. It feels good.
We sure there's not like, you know, somebody in there that probably needs you that's, you know, still alive? I mean, I'm no medical professional, but I don't think there's much we can do for the dead. Nah.
The curtain moved. Yeah, it did. It moved. It moved. It moved. Yes,
Nope.
it did. It did. How do you not see that? Oh, okay.
The creepiest thing.
See, okay, this is one thing I don't really understand. You were so brave to go in there. Why not just hang out and see what's going on? I mean, you so brave to go in there and be all like, oh, I'm gonna be Mr. Brave. I'm gonna go in here and see all this spooky stuff. Once it starts getting spooky, all of a sudden you're out. You're already there. You might as well figure it out and then let people like us know about it, because I'm not going in there. I don't. Please, come on now.
About you, according to your zodiac sign. If you are an Aries, you are obsessed with death. It turns out that aside from being one of the 4 zodiac signs related to birth, Aries is also one of the 3 death signs. Aries represents death through fire. So Aries, if you spend a lot of time thinking about your demise, the deaths of others, or the death of a planet, know that this is completely normal for you. The good news that the underlying meaning of death by fire in Aries is ultimately a sign of purification. If you can't stop thinking about death, perhaps it's time to seek out some purifying practices like yoga and meditation.
This video
Listen, if you think about world genocide, it's okay. It's normal. You're an Aries. You're good. Okay? Star signs don't lie.
gives me the chills. Watch the video and then let me know if you think this guy's apartment is haunted.
The craziest shit I've seen so far. I was taking the trash out with my son and he kept pointing at the mirror and waving and I didn't know why. So I pulled the camera out and I can't believe I caught this. That's Ronan.
Hey, yo.
Like, did anyone else see that skull thing or like another child in the mirror? I don't know what that.
What is the scariest thing that could happen while camping? Well, this one guy who was camping in Florida had a horrifying encounter. And before we get into it, I have a podcast episode of 2 of the scariest camping stories I've ever heard if you're interested. So years ago, a guy and his friend were camping in Florida when they came upon this old man's campground. It was in disarray, so they kind of got a bad feeling from it and they turned to leave. But then the guy comes out of the campsite and is like, oh, hey, he wants to talk to them. He starts engaging them. He's giving them suggestions of where to go in the woods, but he's telling them where to go in steps, not in miles or yards. So he's like, oh, the waterfall is 300 steps from here. And one of the guys thinks that's weird because that's really not common in the area to describe where to go. A few months pass and they basically just forget about this interaction. But one day, one of the guys calls the other guy and is like, dude, you have to turn on the TV right now. And all over the news are pictures of this guy, the guy they saw, Gary Michael Hilton, who is a serial killer who preyed upon young women in national parks, kidnapping them and taking their lives. Some of the places he told the boys to go look at were places he had hid bodies. Both men were contacted by law enforcement and ended up giving
Creepy TikToks that will keep you awake at night.
So I'm babysitting, right? And it's 10:30 at night now. I've already put the kids in bed and I hear laughing. I started to get a little mad because this was the 3rd time I told them they needed to be in bed since they have school in the morning. The thing is, the noises were coming from the baby's room. I thought maybe they woke up to check on their sister. So then I decided to check the baby monitor. Please tell me what's in the top left corner.
Nah.
I don't know. I've been face down in a ditch for 2 hours. I was trying to save your buddy, okay? I don't think there's much left I have to prove. Okay, well, if you could come back, that'd be nice. Okay? I don't know where this thing is or when it's gonna...
Yo, okay, so chill, for one. Don't just be standing there talking to creepy things. 2, respect to that homie, because as soon as Buddy got snatched, he was booking right to go help him. So, like, respect to him, but stop talking to random weird creatures out in the night. And you could have avoided the whole thing.
5 horror movies that were banned in
Yo.
different countries for whatever reason. Some valid, some kind of, I don't know. The Human Centipede 2 was banned in Australia. Reason for the ban was that it was just too inappropriate. That's pretty much it. 1978's I Spit on Your Grave was banned in Australia, Germany, Iceland, and Canada. Now, while others see this movie as a sign of justice, other countries was like, yeah, fuck that. No, don't bring that over here. The Hunger from 1983 was banned in Chile, or however you pronounce that country. My bad. Because the movie involved the dark arts and the consumption of blood, the country said, no, don't bring that over here. Hostel Part 2 was banned in Germany. By the way, Germany has the longest list of banned horror movies, which is crazy because Germany doesn't have that clean of a history, so I guess they try to clean it up through the horror movies that they get rid of. They deemed that Hostel Part 2 was just way too disturbing. More specifically, the director's cut that just showed everything. And lastly, probably the most hilarious ban on this list is World War Z that got banned in China. And the reason is something that you'll never expect. So in 1997, Brad Pitt was in a movie called 7 Years in Tibet. And in the movie, it featured Chinese soldiers being depicted as evil villains. Not liking how the soldiers were portrayed in the movie, the Chinese government saw Brad Pitt making another movie and said, yeah, fuck that guy. Everybody involved with 7 Years in Tibet pretty much got the middle finger when it came down to any other movies going to China. In 2013, when World War Z came out, China said, no. Don't bring that over here. There y'all go, man. 5 horror movies that got banned in other countries.
Got beef with China, Mr. Pitt.
Let's talk about one of the scariest sounds ever.
What would you do if you've made it this far into the video? You heard something rustling around, and then all of a sudden you heard a guttural snarl like that. Because I'm hoping that you'd be like me, turn around and bust up out of there faster than you've ever gone before in your life. But I don't know, just let me know in the comments below. Are you chilling to see what it is, or are you running for your life?
Posted. The Siberian hellhole. Now this sound went viral because of how terrifying it sounds, and I'm gonna show it to you, so be aware. Now the story seems to have been started by these guys. Christianity Today. It was on a July 16th, 1990 article of theirs. But the story goes that apparently a hole was drilled in Russia, and it was so deep that it reached hell. Hence the Siberian hellhole. And I'm pretty sure that's not a picture of it. Now the question is there a creepypasta inspired by a Christianity Today 1990 article? Or is this really what hell sounds? Either way, it's really scary, and I'm gonna show it to you. Here it is.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Boat went missing in rough seas
No
off the coast of
shot,
Hawaii,
yo.
and was found years later, half an ocean away. In 1979, 27-year-old Robert Malayakin and 4 friends from East Maui went fishing in a small boat called Sarah Joe. As the day progressed, rough seas, stirred by gale force winds, overwhelmed them. Despite the Coast Guard's extensive search among 40-foot waves, the Sarah Joe remained missing, prompting a community mourning. 10 years later, marine biologist John Naughton discovered the remains of the Sarah Joe on the shoreline of the Marshall Islands. A member of the initial search party, he was shocked to find the wreckage over 2,200 miles away from its last known location. Near the wreckage, he found a crude grave containing the remains of John Mormon, one of the lost friends. The grave was marked with a driftwood cross, stones, and foil interleaved paper. The fate of the remaining 4 men and the creator of John Mormon's grave remain a mystery. The recovered Sarah Joe now rests in Robert's brother's driveway in Maui, a reminder of that fateful trip. How did the boat and John Mormon end up 2,200 miles away?
Wow.
Who buried him? What happened to the other 4 men? I'm Phil, and I delve into the weird and unexplained every day.
And we know you've been disrespecting your mother.
What did he say?
No.
Thomas, if you don't stop misbehaving, we're gonna take your mom away and leave you here.
There are 50 women on death row in the United States, and this is one of their stories.
No. 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 Nope. Nope.